Hello, everyone. It's Bradley, and thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch this virtual presentation. I know a number of you have been watching these presentations for a long time now, but we do know that there's a number of folks that have registered for this presentation that are tuning in for the very first time. So I'd like to especially welcome you and let you know that I can guarantee that if you're on a travel with Bradley journey, that you'll be welcomed by the regulars that are always so thrilled to see new people when they join our tours, no matter where they are in the world. And we're a very welcoming group of travelers. And that's one thing that I think makes Travel with Bradley so unique is that it's reunions every time we have a tour. And I don't really know of any other tour company that is similar, because with most tour companies, they're just getting brand new people all the time. And with Travel with Bradley, we have such a huge repeat following and folks that just love what is offered. They love the experience they get when they travel with Bradley, and they also love the experience of knowing others that are part of the group. And I know so many of you get together often for meals, for weddings, for anniversaries, for all kinds of wonderful events. And that all comes from meeting one another on Travel with Bradley journeys. You'd be surprised how many thank yous, letters, and cards I get from people that just thank me for that opportunity, with the fact that they've made some lifelong friends when they've traveled on our journeys. So I think that's very special. So today I'm going to be talking about a couple new tours. And first of all, we're going to chat a little bit about a European mystery tour, which calling Valentine's Mystery Escape, and Europe by River. And you'll know that I gave you a little bit of a hint already on this journey, which departs February the 10th to the 17th is the time that you'll be away. And if you go to travelwithbradley.com, you'll find out all the details about that journey. But, well, I shouldn't say all the details that we're going to release to you. But I just wanted to give you a few little hints today, and talk about why I decided to do this journey. Of course, mystery journeys have been popular with us for a long time. Not only uh, mystery journeys throughout North America, but the fact that have run international mystery journeys for a number of years now. And a lot of people really love the adventure of the mystery, not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing where they're going to be going, but knowing that they're going to be treated really well, that they're going to see some wonderful things, and travel with some wonderful people, eat some delicious food, and have a wonderful time. So I was looking for some alternatives for winter getaways, and came across this one and thought, wow, that would be really, really cool. So originally I was going to run this tour as a mystery tour with no hints at all. But when I knew that it involved a river cruise, and so many of you have been asking for another river cruise, we of course have run many river cruises over the years. And for a lot of people, it's a favorite way of travel. It's a nice, relaxing time on the river. Uh, it's a good way to just sort of relax and take in the scenery, see see the area that you're going to, and quite often the places that you're visiting can be a little smaller, places that you wouldn't necessarily have even heard of before. And there's always some destinations on a river cruise that seem to be a little bit more major. So it's a mix, and I think that is nice. And it you're traveling with a small group of people. So unlike a mainstream cruise, a river cruise offers an opportunity to travel on the river instead of the ocean, and just being with a few people, you're not ever waiting in line, or if you're in line, you're only going to be in line for a minute or so, and it's you get to know the staff on board very quickly. Uh, it's a nice way to travel, and it's really caught on, as we all know. So, offering this river cruise, and your staterooms on board are a French balcony, and that's always a favorite, of course. Um, and when you talk about a balcony, it's not like it'll be a balcony that you can sit out on. It's just um, the fact that you do have those French doors there, and that you can open them, of course, but it gives an opportunity to let the outside in, because you have to remember that on a river cruise, the boats are all primarily about the same size, and there's they have to work with what they have. Um, as far as designing the river cruises, and the staterooms are adequate in size, but they're small. Let's just admit that. Um, but they're well designed, and the fact that when you have the French balcony doors there, you just have the windows looking out, and it just brings the outside in, as I said, and just makes your room feel that much more spacious. But just gives you the opportunity to enjoy the scenery as you're traveling. So you could always, if you wish, spend some time in your room watching watching the scenery as you're sailing, or of course, there's the public areas. So this ship offers 3 different restaurants, so you have an opportunity to explore if you wish to eat in a different restaurant other than the main dining room. And it also, we have a beverage package, which includes your beverages, which is a nice perk, because on a number of river cruises, that isn't necessarily offered, or if there is a package, quite often it is just beer and wine at lunch and dinner. So this includes your beverages, and also includes your gratuities, which is a nice perk. But gratuities, as you know, are always included on Travel with Bradley Journeys. We're going to all in all, we'll be visiting 3 different European countries on this journey. We'll be flying over to Europe. You'll get an envelope at the airport, which you'll open. It'll tell you where you're flying to, and we'll be doing some touring when we arrive, and staying in a hotel, a lovely property. On the first night, we'll be then the next day doing some more touring, including a suite stop, and then we will be boarding the river cruise that day. We'll be sailing for a few days, and visiting ports of call, and then we'll be heading back to a destination where we'll be flying home, back to Toronto. So this tour includes overnight stay at the end, um, because it makes the most sense. Because on our departure, it's later in the day departure, so wouldn't make sense to have accommodations the night before because you'd have to check out early in the day and you'd be twiddling your fingers waiting for the flight to happen. So of course, if you're going to drive into Toronto, parking would be included at that hotel. So, of course, your meals while traveling will be included, um, and your admissions, all of that kind of thing, of course. So, let me think. If there's anything else I need to tell you, I think that's pretty much all I can share because it is a mystery journey. But if you're looking forward to getting away a little bit in February over the Valentine's time period, I want to let you know too that this tour is great for couples, friends, or singles. You're all welcome on this journey. It's just the fact that it does run over Valentine's, and typically every year I like to run a tour that runs over this time period. So if you've never been on a river cruise before, this would be a good first time experience to see what it's all about. And those of you that love the riverboat experience already know, and you'd probably want to look at joining us on this journey. So, as always, you typically need to make a fairly quick decision if you're going to travel with us. And I look forward to having you aboard on this one. So stay tuned. I'm going to be talking about another destination in just a second. Thank you. Let's chat a little bit about exotic Thailand. You look at all the destinations I've been to in Asia, I've returned to Thailand more than any other. There's something that draws me back to Thailand, and if you talk to travelers that been all around the world, they'll tell you the same thing. They always seem to return to Thailand. And a lot of nomads, those folks that can basically work anywhere in the world, seem to settle in Thailand. There was a number of years ago when Thailand was considered a bargain sort of destination. It's not anymore. It certainly isn't as expensive as, say, Singapore is, but it's the people that seem to that everyone seems to love, the locals. And the food also draws a lot of people back to Thailand. People love the food in Thailand in comparison to a number of different worldwide destinations. It's the food in Thailand that seems to rate right up there. There's two folks that I follow quite regularly, their travel podcasts, and they're currently visiting 20 different destinations around the world, trying to figure out where they want to finally settle down because they've been traveling for year after year after year, just all around the world. But they're to the point where they still want to do a lot of travel, but they want to settle down. And they've been visiting all these destinations and rating them. And so far, they're almost done visiting all the destinations. And Thailand is way above all the rest of the destinations with the highest score. And you could just see their enthusiasm when they're traveling throughout Thailand. They just love it so much. So Thailand is a unique country. And when I was putting this together, I wanted to make sure that we explored enough of Thailand that you got a really good feel of what it's all about. So, of course, you can't go to Thailand without visiting Bangkok. It's that crazy, busy city that is full of lights, full of action, full of millions of people. But I learned a number of years ago that you can be in a major city like that, but you could still be very relaxed with where you're staying. And this tour involves some pretty amazing properties that we're staying. There's something about in Asia and some other destinations in the world that they have all these incredible hotels, much more so than a lot of areas in the world. And we're staying at some of the most wonderful ones. Now, there's one thing when you talk about Thailand, there is a number of amazing places you can stay. But we're staying at the top tier hotels, all 5 star except for one, which is a 4 star. And I'll talk about that a little bit. And I want to include it because it was so unique, and I think it'll be a highlight of this journey. Anyway, I learned a number of years ago that there are, of course, a number of places you can stay at in Thailand, but one of the most special places that I have found in Thailand to stay is on the river, and yeah, and you have a choice. There are some incredible hotels on the river that are humongous, and there's a handful of just smaller, more boutique style properties, and that's we're going to be staying in one of those. It's not too many stories high. You'll walk into your rooms and you go, "Wow, this is pretty awesome," um, and a nice way to start the journey. So we're going to be flying out of Toronto, of course. There are no direct flights to Thailand, which is very surprising. So we are going to have a connection, which is um, not a bad thing when you're going to Asia because it gives you an opportunity to get out of the plane and stretch a little bit and um, go for a little stroll before getting the connection flight. I did. One of the delays for releasing this tour was the fact that it's a little bit more challenging dealing with the Asian carriers when you put in a request for group space, uh, unlike, say, Air Canada, where you get an answer quite quickly. With the Asian carriers, you have to wait and a number of days. And then it's kind of, if you have to go back with a revision, it takes a number of days again. So it's quite a long process. Um, but I picked an Asian carrier that offers more legroom in economy. And uh, just knowing that we're traveling as far as we are, just having that little bit of extra space really makes a big difference. And it was sort of my goal to get us on those flights. So I think you'll appreciate that in the long run. So we do have time, of course, in Bangkok. I'm not going to go over everything we're going to be doing. You can read that at travelwithbradley.com. You'll see the itinerary there with all the details. But I want to point out a few things. First of all, I want to explain to you that I am doing this tour in conjunction with a gentleman that in Thailand, Pong, and Pong only deals with high-end tours. So it's not like you can call Pong and book a tour that he's put together for the general public because he doesn't do that. He's dealing with mainly, I admit, American incentive companies. So incentives meaning big firms, big businesses that are sending their top executives away on sort of vacation thank you journeys, and of course, or business journeys. And they're experiencing the best of the best. So I dealt with him because he knows the best of the best. And I, of course, gave him all my requirements and places that I felt we should be staying. He came back with a couple other ideas at different times, and he followed what I was interested in, and the two of us have worked together for a number of months to get this put together. I'm sure he's saying, "Oh my goodness, that Mr. Walters is quite a demanding customer." But there were certain things that I was looking for on this tour. I wanted our travelers to experience things that other travelers wouldn't, some really unique things. I wasn't looking for a cookie cutter journey, and you'll find that there are so many of them out there now. You just have to pick up a travel brochure and see companies that run the same tour like 20 times a year, and it's just like clockwork, and you're just going, hitting a few major things, going on to the next spot, hitting the few major things. There's no sort of heartwarming hospitality, I guess you could say, where I like to stop in a few places that don't see a lot of tourists, and you get more of a genuine experience when you do that. Of course, when you're visiting a city like Bangkok, you're bound to be doing things that other tourists are going to be doing because you need to hit the main spots, and we're definitely going to be doing that. But we're going to be doing some fun, unique things in Bangkok. One of them will be getting onto a tuk-tuk and going into different areas, trying some of the local food that evening. That should be lots of fun. We're also going to be going on the river that we're staying on. Has a ton, let me tell you, of river cruises that you can experience, and there's only a couple that are regarded as like the high end boats to be on, and we're on one of them. So it's for a dinner cruise. It'll be a highlight of this journey, and just the fact that we're on such a prestigious one where the meal quality is will be an experience. The boat is beautiful. It's a high-end product. I think that you'll really appreciate the fact that I picked the best of the best for us to be on. Of course, we'll tour, see all the sights of Bangkok. We'll be traveling to outer areas of the city, visiting a UNESCO site. We'll be even going into a home which I found with my that I haven't been to yet, of a gentleman that was very influential with the silk market, and it's one of those kind of out of the way places in Bangkok that I shouldn't say out of the way. It's right in the city, but you kind of go and visit this home, and surrounded by all the hustle and bustle, and it's kind of hard to believe that it exists in the middle of the city, and you'll appreciate the gardens and stuff there. And that gentleman's name was Jim Thompson, and so it's the Jim Thompson house that we'll be visiting. But of course, we'll be going to the Grand Palace and all those things that you expect that you'll see when you're in Bangkok. We'll when we leave Bangkok, and that's day 5 of the tour, if I'm remembering correctly. We will be heading to another hotel, and this is a hotel that I wasn't aware of, but Pong told me that if I want something that my passengers are really going to love, that's really unique, we have to stay in this hotel, which is a floating hotel on the River Kauai. Now, this is the hotel that isn't rated 5-star, but 4. And on the way, we'll be traveling. We'll be going to Floating Market, which is a real tradition in Thailand. They still, this isn't always designed for tourists. This is a way of life in a lot of areas in Thailand, where locals will come on their boats to shopkeepers that have their wares on boats, and will do their buying. So a cool thing to see. We'll eventually end up boarding a longboat, because that's how we will travel along the River Kauai to our floating hotel. And when I talk about a floating hotel, it is truly a floating hotel, on the River Kauai in the middle of the jungle. So if you just sort of landed there and didn't know where you were, you might think that you're in Africa. Um, Literally, you're in a jungle. Um, it sort of, to me, has Gilligan's Island sort of vibes. Just the fact that where you are, in such an isolated place, and the you're in villas that all connect together on the river. You are truly on the river floating. Um, so floating, you may notice it sometimes, because if a boat goes by on the river at a tremendous speed and causes a little bit of wave action, your villa is going to go up and down a little bit with those waves. So a very, very unique spot. The rooms are, as I said, villas, really big, high ceilings. You have a nice sit out balcony on the river. Just a very unique place to be. We're going to be there for 2 days. On the second day, we will take in some of the history of that area, which of course was um, sadly famous because of the war. And we will take a train over a bridge that had a lot to do with the war. And so you will learn some of that history. But one thing that I wanted on this journey to Thailand was, and hopefully it'll come true. Of course, you can never guarantee because of traffic and all kinds of things, but I wanted some downtime on this tour. The fact that we're in Thailand during our winter, we're going to be there when the weather's lovely. Wanted to give you some time just to be able to relax. So hopefully you'll have some time to just be able to sit out on your balcony, or maybe in the outdoor lounge of this hotel, and take in the scenery, take in the surroundings, and just sit there and overlook the beauty. Maybe relax and read a book, or listen to the birds. You know, just admire where you are and take it all in. So ideally, we'll have some time to do that. So our next destination we'll be going to is Chiang Mai, and Chiang Mai is a short flight. We'll be heading north to Chiang Mai, and another person that I follow online with their blogs, their travel blogs, is this Australian that has been all through Asia, and was most recently living in Vietnam, but has come back to Chiang Mai. And just last night, I was listening to his podcast, and he was saying that he has traveled throughout Asia for a long time now, and he constantly returns to Chiang Mai. And this time he bought a condo, and he said he's just planning on staying. That it's such a wonderful place, and he said it's hard for him to explain what it is that draws him back to Chiang Mai, but it's definitely a much different experience than being in Bangkok. You're in a much smaller community, Um, but once again, I didn't want our hotels to be um, in the hustle and bustle. So we're staying at a very very beautiful boutique property in Chiang Mai. We'll be touring the area. We'll be enjoying afternoon tea at the resort that we're staying at. I wanted you to experience that because it's a little bit different typically, like more Thai style. And we're when we're there, we'll be going into a local village that sort of sustains itself with community programs, um, such as like indigo dyeing. Um, so you'll get to experience that and how the locals um, survive or make a living. We'll also be going to um, have an experience where you'll be met by a local grandma, they call them, that will show us their cooking techniques. You'll probably have an opportunity to help out if you wish and learn a little bit more about Thai food when we're in the area. But a beautiful place that we're staying. I want you to be able to enjoy that too. And we'll also be going to a tea plantation in that area. Um, so I thought that that would be something that you would really enjoy, and it's one that I guess doesn't get a whole lot of tourists. That uh, so a nice place to be able to visit. And then we're going to be taking another flight to the southern coast, and we will be going to Phuket. Phuket is a very popular destination for folks. They'll just go and stay their entire journey in Phuket. We will be flying out of Phuket on our way home. So it is possible to do that. It gets enough visitors from all over the world that people can just fly in to Phuket. And we will, once again, we're staying at a very lovely place there. I wanted, of course, we'll be touring when we arrive and things like that, but I'm giving you a day to just enjoy the resort. Um, so whether you want to lays out that day, just relax, whatever you wish to do. I thought that that's day 11, I believe. Day 12. Um, no, day 11. It's day 11 or 12. I'm not 100% positive on there, but later in your journey where you can relax and after doing a lot of touring, just take in the resort. We'll be having our meals at the resort that day. Um, I've arranged so lunch you'll get sort of like a coupon, a value of so much that you can spend for your lunch. For dinner, we'll all gather once again for dinner at a certain time, but I wanted to give you that flexibility that you could come whenever you wished. So if you were in the pool and you wanted to spend until 1 o'clock in the pool and others want to eat at 12, you'd have that option. So we're also going to be uh, on our last day in Phuket. We will stay at the hotel until around noon, checkout time, whenever that is. And then we will check out, we will head to a dinner and lunch. Sorry, lunch first. Then we'll be visiting a show that afternoon, which is sort of an aqua circus they call it, but a very entertaining show. And we'll be doing a little bit more touring. We'll have a farewell dinner, and then we'll be heading to the airport as our flight is later that evening. And then we'll start making our journey back to Toronto. So it's a unique journey. It's if it's not a bucket list destination, it should be for you, and I don't think you'd be disappointed. It We have wonderful accommodations. You'll be seeing a number of wonderful things. You'll be seeing different regions of Thailand. Um, Even if you've been to Thailand before, I think we're going to be doing things that are very unique. Definitely, we're probably staying in some wonderful hotels that you didn't have the opportunity to stay at previously, and it's a wonderful way to escape the winter, our Canadian winter, because we're gone for a good portion of March. So give it some thought. This is a boutique, small group departure, and I know that it will fill quickly. At least that's generally what happens with these tours. And as I said, I'm really excited about this journey, and I think you will be too. So hope to see you aboard. If you have any questions in regards to what was presented today, definitely feel free to call the team at Travel with Bradley. They'd be more than happy to help you out. Stay well, everyone. Enjoy your travels, and hope to see you aboard with Travel with Bradley. Thank you. Bye bye now.